Imagine painting your nails, your teeth, even your lips, with something you were told was harmless, only to later realize it was slowly killing you. This is the tragic and haunting story of the Radium Girls, young women who unknowingly worked with deadly radioactive material, only to suffer horrific consequences. But their fight for justice changed history forever. In the early 20th century, radium was considered a miracle. Discovered by Marie Curie in 1898, this glowing element was thought to have healing properties. Radium-infused water, toothpaste, and even cosmetics were marketed as health boosters. But radium's most famous use, making glow-in-the-dark watches. During World War I, soldiers needed timepieces that could be read in the total darkness. The solution? Radium-painted dials. This led to the rise of radium dial factories, where thousands of young women, many in their teens, were hired to carefully paint tiny numbers on watch faces using radium-infused paint. They became known as the Radium Girls. Inside the factories, the women were trained in a technique called lip, dip, paint. They would dip their brushes into the paint, then sharpen the bristles by placing them between their lips, coating their tongues with radium over and over again. Supervisors encouraged this method, claiming radium was harmless. In fact, many of the girls painted their nails, teeth, and even faces for fun, amused by how they glowed in the dark. But here's what they didn't know. While they were being told it was safe, the company scientists were taking extreme precautions, wearing masks, gloves, and lead aprons to avoid exposure. At first, the effects were subtle: fatigue, aching teeth, minor pains. But then, their bodies began to fall apart. Teeth loosened and fell out, jaws crumbled away. Women developed horrific ulcers that refused to heal. Some experienced anemia, brittle bones, sterility, and spontaneous bone fractures. Doctors were baffled. The most horrifying condition, radium jaw, where the bone literally disintegrated from the inside out. And yet, the companies refused to take responsibility. They claimed the workers were suffering from syphilis, smearing their reputations to avoid lawsuits. But then, 5 brave women decided to fight back. In 1928, Grace Fryer, Edna Hussman, Catherine Schaub, Quinta MacDonald, and Albina Larice took U.S. radium to court. By then, they were so weak that some had to testify from their deathbeds. The legal battle was brutal. The company tried to delay the case, hoping the women wouldn't live long enough to see justice. But their story spread. The media called them the Radium Girls. Under immense public pressure, the case was settled. Each woman was awarded $10,000, about $177,000 today, and a lifetime annuity of $600 per year. But for most, it was too late. Their bodies were already ravaged by radiation poisoning. The Radium Girls' suffering was not in vain. Their case led to major changes in labor laws, stricter workplace safety regulations, and better protection for workers handling hazardous materials. And here's the most haunting part. Radium's half-life is 1,600 years. When scientists took a Geiger counter to the graves of the Radium Girls, they found that their bones are still radioactive today. Their fight changed the history, but their glow, a tragic, haunting reminder of their sacrifice, will last for centuries to come. What do you think about the story of the Radium Girls? Should their story be more widely known? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more untold stories from history. And Maurizio Dobikoasta.